Chinua Achebe is known as Africa's best-known novelist and the founding father of African fiction. Achebe was named Albert Chinua Logo by his Christian convert parents in the traditional Igbo town of Ogidi in eastern Nigeria 40 years after missionaries first came into the region. However, he changed his name to Chinua Achebe after refusing to change his name to a westernized one. After Achebe's first year in university, he realized that writing was his passion, so he changed his major from medicine to English literature, religious studies, and history. During his education, professors provided relevancy to Nigerian works, which exposed Achebe to works of literature such as Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness. Conrad's novel has justified the British colonization in a way that contrasts with the uprising ideology in Nigeria after World War II. By the time Achebe graduated in 1952, Achebe had made up his mind to be a writer who would narrate the story of Africans and the colonial encounter through the eyes of Africans. Particularly, Achebe sought to publish novels that contest European narratives representing Africans as savage. Between 1958 and 1987, Achebe wrote 5 novels and short stories that depict Nigeria's turbulent history since British colonial control began. Achebe first published Things Fall Apart in 1958, which presented the culture and lifestyle of the Igbo people and how Nigeria was already a civilization that did not need European intervention. Along with Things Fall Apart, Achebe published No Longer at Ease 2 years later in 1960. In addition, Achebe investigated the story of an Igbo priest imprisoned for refusing to collaborate with the British. Fascinated and inspired by the tale, Achebe made the priest's character the focus of his third novel named Arrow of God. Arrow of God was published in 1964. Such works became increasingly popular and ran counter shifts in mentality brought about by anti-colonial movements in West Africa following World War II. Achebe's fourth novel, named A Man of the People, was a satirical novel about Odili, a young and educated narrator, and his struggle with Chief Nanga, who was a former teacher who pursues a career in politics in a fictional country in Africa. In the novel, Achebe examines the corrupt and irresponsible government and military coup similar to the one in Nigeria. The military group had caused a piece of territory known as Biafra to attempt seeding and the civil war, which broke out and killed millions of people. Achebe became a vocal supporter of Biafra's independence, traveling the globe in search of help. Despite the fact that the Biafran War was defeated, Achebe remained optimistic. Achebe was certain that the Igbo presence and viewpoints should be kept inside the Nigerian nation. Achebe continued to publish works in order to spread the Igbo perspectives, in which he was recognized in multiple universities across the United States, such as the University of Massachusetts. At the University of Massachusetts, Achebe denounced Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness by claiming that his word choice was not adequate, which caused some outrage amongst the students. However, Achebe's lectures had encouraged the community to study African literature. All in all, Achebe's works showcased the suppressed perspective of African as he spread the message that each story has multiple narratives and perspectives surrounding it. Moreover, Achebe has been awarded over 30 doctorates and was tributed by many people, most notably Nelson Mandela. Chinua Achebe died on the 21st of March in 2013. However, he is still recognized until this very day.
Nigeria is located on the west coast of Africa with more than 200 ethnic groups. There are more than 200 ethnic groups, each with its own language, beliefs, and culture. The largely Protestant Yoruba in the west, the Catholic Igbo in the east, and the primarily Muslim Hausa Fulani in the north are the three largest ethnic groups. The events and Things Fall Apart take place at the end of the 19th century and in the early part of the 20th century. The, Br- the, Brit- the British Empire had a strong presence in West Africa, specifically Nigeria, which was a major slaving trade hub. Due to Nigeria being a liability in the fact that it was a slave center in West Africa, the British decided to occupy Lagos, which is the modern day capital of Nigeria. In 1861, the British decided to occupy Lagos, the capital of Nigeria, as being the first colonized capital.
By 1904, the British had completely occupied Nigeria. Due to this colonization by the British, they brought with them a whole new variety of British culture with them to Nigeria. Other colonial European powers fought the British for control of Nigeria's natural resources and wealth. For example, Nigerian palm oil, rubber, cotton, peanuts, and a variety of other agricultural products were purchased by the British. Coming to the topic of authoritative colonialism, the British had to rule aggressively and viciously in the south, where settlements like Umofia, which was included in Things Fall Apart, were not under control of one central authority. Following the Ahiara incident, the British executed all of the political opponents from the Igbo people and tribe. They also sent a large number of capable young and educated Nigerians to England and the UK to further their studies. Nigerians gained independence thanks to this education and funding. Then, a 10-year economic plan for independence was established by Nigeria in 1947. After the British left officially in 1960, there was a lack of cooperation and a lack of democracy and leadership in Nigeria, which led to a rough history of military coup d'etats from 1966 up until 1999.
The Igbo people are native Nigerians located in the southern eastern part of Nigeria. They speak Igbo, their native language, and most of them are farmers. Before the coming of the Europeans, they were mainly split into different groups until they came together to fight for independence from the Europeans. Their crops mainly consisted of corn, beans, pumpkin, okra, and yams. They live in mainly rainforest areas and several villages and they live in huts, mainly like groupings of huts. Traditional Igbo religion follows the belief of a creator god named Chukwuchu or Chinchiki, other deities, and Allah, the goddess of the earth. They also believe that deceased ancestors protect their descendants. Over time, with the colonization of the Igbo people, many have become Christians or a combination of both religions. Children are taught from a young age to respect their elders and continue to live this way throughout their lives. The politics and leadership roles of the Igbo people are done by both men and women.
The purpose of this novel. The purpose is that Achebe wanted to tell a story from the perspective of the Africans and show their real authentic side. Contrary to the writings of white colonizers, Africans were not primitive or savage. In his book, Achebe portrays this, informing the Western world about the true nature of native Africans who were not perfect but still human and not at all like the racist and wrong white depiction shared around the world. Achebe also stated that he wrote the book with his own people in mind, hoping to inspire them to believe in themselves and leave the degrading and harmful treatment and depiction of themselves in the past. It was also another way of informing future and present native Africans of their past, told from a native African's perspective instead of a colonizer's perspective.